Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Raw Perspective podcast.
All right, well, let's move on to my raw take of the week. So, according to an article published by the Washington Post, a Texas high school football team getting a lot of attention this week. That's because of their controversial name. So, they're known as the Robstown Cotton Pickers. So, the reason that everybody found out about it and why it went viral is because a news reporter by the name of Chris Thompson, he tweeted a video stating, quote, "The Robstown Cotton Pickers come out before their season opener against the London tonight." So, with that said, what do you think about that name?
Overall, for most of America, they're treading on thin ice with that name.
You think it's culturally sensitive?
In today's day and age, yeah.
I think just in today's day and age, to be honest with you, it should be sensitive, since the end of slavery, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's because slavery and picking cotton, that's the first thing that anybody thinks of for cotton pickers.
And that's the reason why America had slaves. They planned on abolishing slavery a long time ago, but there was a new invention that facilitated cotton picking and made cotton a lot more popular, and they were able to cultivate it a lot faster and send it out to the world. So they said, hey, we stop slavery, we're not going to have people to help us out for free and make billions and billions of dollars. So that's why slavery remained a thing in the United States for hundreds of years.
Especially in this part of the South of the United States. Where
absolutely.
That was one of their biggest exports.
Yeah, so with that name, it's very racist in my opinion. And it's very interesting that it's been around for that school for a long time.
Almost 100 years,
and
right?
Nobody batted an eye.
No.
That's very weird, right? It's crazy because that tells you how secluded certain parts of the country are.
Yeah, and there's tons of parts of the country that are secluded like that too. I think from our standpoint, it's weird just because we've been in the South, we live in the South, and calling someone a cotton picker, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing to do.
Yeah.
At all. I don't think I've ever heard anybody call anybody that, but I know
derogatory term.
Yeah. I know from growing up that you just don't do that.
Yeah. There was, not sure what he was, some kind of reporter or something. A few months back tweeted something. I think he said, wait a cotton picking minute or something like that. And, yeah. People were outraged about it. And I didn't know, because I didn't grow up in this country. I didn't know. I mean, obviously I knew it was the cotton, a cotton picker, derogatory term and stuff, but I didn't know, cotton picking minute. I didn't know that was something that was commonly said back in the day.
I haven't heard it. I just know from my upbringing, that's not nice to say, pretty much. It's not something you say. Growing up, that's almost the same as cussing for when I was a kid. Yeah. So it wasn't allowed in our house. But then doing research on this town in Texas, I can understand why they're proud of the cotton pickers name, because for them that's their heritage. Because if you look at that town, most of the people there are Latino immigrants who went to that town specifically to pick cotton. So it's a generational thing. My dad picked cotton and his dad picked cotton and his dad picked cotton. So for them, it's really, really a proud thing. But I think for everybody looking in, it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't go.
The school actually released a statement. So let's dissect it. So basically they said the area around Robstown is one of the leading cotton producing regions in the United States. To be a Robstown cotton picker represents a sense of pride based on a tradition for the students and historical legacy for the community members of Robstown.
So yeah.
So yeah, like you were saying, it is a tradition, and those people around there seems like they came around to pick cotton. I guess they were getting paid. It's a job.
Yeah.
You know, that's a job that they've had for generations.
And for them to be the leading cotton producing area in the United States, like that's something for them that's really big.
Yeah.
But I think for the rest of the United States who aren't from Robstown looking in, like I think everybody's like us. We think cotton pickers and we think slavery and Deep South and bad.
I think the problem is, of course, yes, that term is derogatory because of the history.
Yeah.
They could have done it a different way by picking a name that means the same thing, but not the same words.
Yeah, they could have.
Yeah, I think that would have been the best route for them. But since that name was around for the school for over 100 years,
yeah,
you know, segregation wasn't that long ago.
No,
way longer than that. So back then, when they picked it, it was fine, but they never evolved with time.
No, so yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's a weird position to be in because for them, it's their heritage, but for the rest of the United States, like it's derogatory. So what do you do? Like, do you pick your heritage or do you appease the rest of the United States and change it?
Yeah, I think they need to change the name. Now that the spotlight's on them. Again, like I said, they could pick something else, a different name that still means the same thing, but doesn't blatantly say cotton picker.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think their intent is good and their intent is pure. So, and that's kind of, I don't know, it kind of goes in with canceling culture. Like, where do we stop? Like, because if their intent is pure, their intentions are good, they aren't using it derogatory. Like, where do we stop canceling culture? So if we have to change their name because that's something that they're proud of and it's part of their heritage, what else do we need to change? Like, we've already changed the Redskins to the Washington football team. Statues come down regularly now.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but when it's blatant like that, I really do think there needs to be a change. You know, it's not nothing where, I guess, for example, the Washington Redskins, you know, some can argue because that during the time when they picked the name, right, they spoke with Native Americans and a lot of them didn't find it offensive.
Yeah.
And they were okay with it. So they kept the name. But when it's something blatant like cotton pickers, yes, for the small town, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but for the rest of the United States, it's not. So, yeah, it's a real thin line, but my opinion, that name needs to go.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think in situations like that, I see it as an opportunity now. They can make something that was bad and make it into something good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they can do it right, they can make cotton picker not so derogatory. They can make it actually mean something. And I think that's what they're trying to do now, just from their heritage and by the school statement.
Yeah.
But can that overcome
one small town versus the entire United States? That's be a rough battle trying to convince everybody. But with the long history of that term, I doubt that anything will change.
Yeah. Just because of the history. Yep.
Yeah.